Assalamu alaikum, students of grade 7. Hope you all are fine. Open your books of social studies at page number 31. In this lecture, we will start our chapter number 6 of your textbook, which is about trade and commerce. Beginning with the name, we will first elaborate about what is trade and commerce. The business of buying and selling goods is called trade and commerce. If we buy products from other countries, it's called import. And if we sell goods or products to other countries, these are known as exports. So, let's start with our first topic, which is about a country's wealth. A country's wealth is very much like that of an ordinary family. We work to earn wages which we can spend on houses, furniture, food, clothing, travel, entertainment, and so on. If we spend less than we earn, we have money to save or to spend on holidays, new clothes, and special treats. But if we spend more than we earn, we get into debt or and have to borrow from a bank or any money lender. Unfortunately, we have to pay back the money we have borrowed, so with plus interest. So, for a country, the wages are called exports, things it sells overseas. The commodities we buy are called imports. If a country exports more than its imports, it has spare money to buy more imports for development, such as roads, or to provide more social services such as welfare, more schools and hospitals for the people. If, however, it buys more from overseas than it sells, it has to borrow from other countries or international organizations. So, the wealth of a money comes largely from its exports. Some of these are agriculture products such as sugar, ice, rice, wheat, and fruit, most of which are relatively low in value. So, some exports, which are as iron, metal, ore, are more valuable. Oil and natural gas, which are really minerals, are of course extremely valuable. But most valuable of all are manufactured products like machinery, motor vehicles, electrical and electronic equipment, chemicals, clothing and textile, plastics, sports equipment, carpets, and much more. These are all valuable. The cost of a raw material in them may not be very great. There is a great skill and a lot of expensive machinery involved in making them, so which increases its value. The value of exports and imports set against one another is called balance of payment. So, we can conclude the country is progressing or can be called a developed country which is with a positive balance of trade. So, now we will know what is positive balance of trade. A country which sells more than it buys is said to have a positive balance of trade. If it buys more than it sells abroad, it is said to have a negative balance of trade. The prospering country is that country which is with positive balance of trade. Now we can come to the next and last topic of this chapter, which is about international trade. No country in the world can produce everything it needs for its people, even if it can grow enough food, and there are only few countries on earth that can do that. It still needs machinery, oil, motor vehicles, raw materials, electronics, and thousands of other things. So, the trade between the countries is more important. Trading between countries can be much like buying or selling for a home. So, because of this trade, problems arise in the international market, which are as the country that may want your goods may not have anything that you want. So you can't barter or exchange. The country therefore has to buy in cash, and this presents problems. Buying at home, you use the same currency in Pakistani rupees. Of course, other countries too have their own currencies. So, the exchanging of goods between the countries becomes more difficult as the different countries' currencies value is different. So, today the problem is solved by agreeing to use one currency internationally. The most common internationally used currency is US dollar, and the second one is euro, which is the currency of the European Union. So, students, look at the drawings or pictures shown below. In the first one, sometimes the trade is direct, like Japan needs oil for its industry but has none of its own. Saudi Arabia has plenty of oil but doesn't have an industrial base producing heavy machinery, motor cars, and electronic goods. The obvious answer for these two countries is to exchange goods with cash if the two do not balance. So, students, look at the next drawing. Sometimes the trading is a bit more complicated as shown in the drawing below. In this diagram, Saudi Arabia exports with Australia, and Australia exports with United Kingdom, and United Kingdom exports or exchange goods with Saudi Arabia. And this multiple trading is also useful. So we can conclude that the trading between the different countries is important and useful. So, students, today we end this chapter with these diagrams. Hopefully, you can understand this chapter very well when you read it again. So, dear students, do your work about this chapter forwarded to you in the form of notes, neat and tidy in your copies with pictorial depiction, and memorize it too. Thank you.